That is insane. With the cost of living going up like your next morning glory, it's more important than ever to use like leftovers, cheap ingredients, etc. to make an absolutely banging dish. So today we're just gonna use some simple stuff. We're gonna use our leftover brisket. We're gonna make some brisket and cheeseburger dog's eye. Right, so we're not going all gourmet today. I'm just going to use some of the more simple ingredients. Right for the base, the Maggi gravy powder, an absolute stalwart in servos across Australia. Cheese is up to you. Mozzarella, if you've got some stuff on special, if you want that cheese to sort of hold together, anything with a high melt cheese works really well too. But if you want, just bang in some cheddar, but beware, you get a lot of the oil that will eventually melt out through your pie mixture. A couple of onions, we're going to about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic, some chili salt. If you don't have chili salt, we're going to use the beef rub backyard barbecue. We're going to use some beef tallow to cook off those onions and garlic, some spray oil, which will then lube up your deep dish pie tins. Now, I can't emphasize enough, if you want a big hearty pie, use the big deep dish ones like this. And then of course, I've got some leftover smoked brisket. Feel free to sub it out for leftover lamb, you've got leftover roast beef, whatever you've got, it doesn't have to be smoked brisket. Your pastry, there's many types. You may have seen me made homemade, but for today, you just use shortcrust for the base. I'm going to use puff for the top. Right, first up is prep or mise en place for you fancy buggers. So we've got some pickled jalapenos, probably about half a cup, or I don't know, a small sort of fist. I just go by the Mark 1 eyeball. A few cloves of garlic, dice up your cheese, and we'll put that on a plate, put it to the side, and then we can crack on from there. Probably got about, I don't know, half a kilo worth of brisket, so I'd assume with the gravy, etc., this will make 2 to 3 of those deep dish pies. Now, garlic is personal preference. If you want the maximum flavour, I'd probably up the garlic by about 30%, wrap them in for a bit of olive oil, salt, into the air fryer for about 10-15 to the nice and gooey, then squeeze that out straight into your pie mixture. That is the best depth of flavour for me. Raw ones, because they're more pungent, knock it down a couple, and then we're just going to simply dice it up, and then that will get cooked off just after the onions. With your trusty stainless scooper. Look how much easier that is. Just put that on your prep plate with your jalapeno, and bang on straight to the onion. Like I said, we're keeping it simple, stupid, so nice and rough. Top and tail it in half. Peel the top 2 layers off. It makes it a hell of a lot easier for when you actually go to dicing. Then you can either do it super, super thin on a mandolin, or we're just gonna go for the normal dice method, right? So you're gonna run it horizontally first, probably go 2 or 3 slices, can be pretty chunky, and then top down. That bloody simple. Just repeat that over the 4 quarters. Yeah, stainless steel scooper. The ones with the sides are so much better than your flat dough scrapers. So much easier to move stuff around. Now let's move on to your cheese, and then we're just going to dice this up, and then, or you can grate it, and then that's going to go straight into the fridge, and that will go back to the recipe once we've done the pie mixture, and then it's fully cooled down. Now, if you've got the high melt American cheese, that works really well. Now, just a tip, firstly, have your knife sharp as a tack. Second to that is, if you find you've got a little bit of movement on your cutting board, just get a wet chucks or a wet piece of paper towel, place it underneath, and you'll get heaps of grip. Last thing to prep is your leftover brisket, beef, whatever you've got. I've got a smoked brisket that I did on my Weber smoke, being a pellet smoker. You know me, I don't discriminate against smokers, I use everything. So this one's from my local butcher, Moe's, absolute cracking brisket. We're just gonna dice that up into probably about 1 centimetre cubes. If you look really chunky, push it out to like 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters, completely up to you. Not doing any of that crappy mince crap. Remember, this is leftover beef, so you want it big and hearty. Right, one thing I do want to point out, just to create that textural difference and look in the dog's eye, is I've got a few different sizes of cut brisket here. So I've got some large chunky stuff, and I've got some smaller stuff which is sort of fill in the gap, so you haven't just got big chunk, lots and lots of gravy, big chunk, if you know what I mean. It kind of like slots into the gap just like a jigsaw puzzle. Right, we're finally up to the cooking stage. Not that it took that bloody long, but it does when you're filming, that's for sure. All right, beef tallow. We're gonna go probably about, I don't know, 2 spoons worth of tallow, completely up to you. If you don't have tallow unsalted butter, because we're gonna season it ourselves, and we're just going to go to a low to medium heat because we're going to saute the onion so it sort of melts through the pie, because that's what we want with a nice pie. Now, while the tallow is doing its thing, if you're wondering what the hell is tallow, or I don't have any tallow, firstly, this is a bloody hack. You don't have to go all to those fancy butchers and supermarkets and spend $20 in a jar like this. You can make it yourself for pennies to the dollar, or super fry. It's actually beef tallow. I don't think that many people know. If you're unsure about how to do tallow, any sort of beef trimming, take the meat off. You're basically going to heat that up until it renders all the way out, and then you're going to filter it through your chucks cloth and then into a boiling pot. Repeat that process about 3 times. I've got plenty of videos on it. Let me know in the comments if you want something more detailed, and I can do a video just on tallow because I make jars of this for every brisket that I do. So because we've done the garlic a little bit smaller, we're going to go onions first. Like I said, sauteing, so low to medium heat, doesn't matter if it's electric or gas. And if you're not familiar with sauteing, essentially, as you can see, they're going in white, right? Or depending on what color, you got a bright yellow. When the onions are sauteed, you can actually start to see through them, hence the word thrown around a lot, translucent. So when they get a sort of a pale yellow color and you can start to almost see through them, especially if you hold them up to the light, probably take about 6 or 7 minutes. A little bit of that chili salt. Right, it's been a few mics. Onions started to sweat out. Bang your garlic in, use your belting stick, stir that through, and then once those onions are translucent, we can then move on to the beef stage. Right, onions and garlic are now translucent. Now I'll give you a bit of a bo peep. Might be a little bit hard to pick up here with the studio lights, but I can see the fork from my end. I can see the shadow straight through the onion. Right, all that beautiful smoked brisket, that's gonna go straight in. Turn the pot down to low. Now we're just going to stir that through until we've got that incorporated with the onion and that garlic. Now after about sort of 5 or so minutes, that brisket was started to render down some of that fat that's congealed after going cold again. Once you're at that point, just grab a fork, have a little bit of a taste, then we can add some of that, more of that chili, salt, pepper, or that coffee-based backyard barbecue rub. Now I like to have quite a heavy pepper taste, so I'm going to add probably about 20 cracks of fresh cracked Vietnamese pepper. Fun fact, Vietnam have some of the best black peppercorns that there is. Stir that through. Now this is where those pickled jalapenos go in. Feel free to omit these if you don't like heat, but pickled jalapenos are pretty soft anyway, so just going to stir those through. Then we're going to add the gravy. Now like I said, we're adhering to keep it simple stupid, so for the gravy, it's got a little bit of salt and pepper. Going to just scoop out the gravy so you can see a fork. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll start off with that. Add some boiling water to it. I've got in total about 350 mils, or how much is that in freedom units? I don't know, about 1 1/4 cups. We'll just whisk that through, have a look at the texture. We want something a little bit thinner because it will thicken up again once it cools and then goes back into the pies for the final cook at the very end. All right, so just add a little bit more water in the end. We've got just about 400 mils. Pour that straight into your pie mixture. And look, it's completely up to you how much gravy you actually want in that. So I would pour it in, mix it all through, eyeball it, have a little taste, and then sort of go for the remaining. It will be a little bit thicker once you get your end product. Some people like it pretty much just all meat with a little bit of gravy. I sort of like to get that balance right. And remembering the brisket will soak up a little bit of that gravy too. So give you a bit of an idea. There's the consistency that they've got at the moment. Now we're just gonna let that sit. We're gonna cool. You can throw it into the fridge, but remember it will produce steam and can ruin some of this stuff in the fridge. So lid on. Let that cool for a couple of hours because we don't want to steam that pastry when we put it in. Then we'll add the cheese once we put the cooled mixture inside of the pastry. Right, see you when it's cooled down. Right, the pie mix is now cooled down. Grab your pie tins out, grab a bit of that spray lube, a little bit into each pie tin. With your short crust on the bottom. If you've only got puff, if you've only got one or the other, fill your beats. But I prefer short crust on the bottom, puff on the top. I've just got a bowl. That'll be for the base of my pie tin. Now I like to take it out of the freezer about 10 minutes in advance just to chill out a bit, but not so much that it's so super tacky. Bang that in. Make sure we get all the air from underneath and then just squeeze all these edges up so it just comes up onto the lip like that. Just rinse and repeat for the rest. Right, you've done your pie base. Now we're just going to scoop that pie mixture, bang that straight in. And I'm just going to leave a little bit of a gap at the top because that's where we're going to put the cheese. Then bang as much cheese as you like on the top. A rough, even coverage with the mozzarella. Last step for the construction of the dog's eye, I just used the reverse side of the pie tin because it's obviously got the biggest lip on it. That's what I used for the pastry lid. Lay that straight over the top. Just make sure there's enough pastry to obviously connect to the lower and then lightly press that. It's up to you if you want to get fancy, you can just pinch it together. You can use a fork and then you can press it together to just give that seal completely up to you. Now what I will say with a fork, have some milk or some water or something like that. If you've got particularly tacky pastry, this will help to make sure the fork doesn't just stick in and just start ripping the pastry off when you pull it off. This one's not too bad because I've only pulled it out of the freezer not too long ago. All right, next up, egg wash. Just lightly paint the top and then we're going to throw those sesame seeds on top. Then just a light coat of sesame over the top. This is probably the point now where you can crank up your barbecue oven. I'm using a barbecue because the beauty of having that hot plate is we can get some heat from underneath to get that pie, the base, nice and crispy. As you know, some of the problems you have with pies, even from a professional bakery, they're floppier than you on your 80th birthday. Let's get the barbie going. We're gonna have a hot plate. You can also use a cast iron grate, etc. in the oven. It works great to get that crispiness underneath. So preheat that right now to about 200 Celsius. What's that in freedom units? Hey Siri, what's 200 Celsius in Fahrenheit? 392 Fahrenheit. All right. Dog's eyes on, like I said, we've got that hot grate underneath. Haven't got it heated directly. We've got it on the outside burners, so it's heating via convection. That should work a treat. Now we'll come back after about 30 minutes, we'll double check. And if you want, you can test the base. You can just get your fork once this is all nice and crispy. You can sort of peel it back, have a look and see if we get nice and golden brown. Right, we'll see you in 20. Right, do a quick color check, looking pretty good. As you can see, I stuffed the living crap out of them, so they're gonna burst a bit. If you don't want that, just make sure the ingredients is level with the pie tin. So we're gonna rip these out and then we're just gonna let them cool down. Righto, let's split her open and see what we got in the guts. Now this is sure to blow wind up your scared. All right, let's get our laughing gear around it, shall we? Oh yeah, stop it. Even with our homemade pastry, it's still an absolute banger. It all comes down to the guts of it. Whilst I really appreciate making my own pastry, it's just that smoked beef and those sauteed onions. My God, it works so well, and cheese. Maybe even some homemade bacon in there as well. With the old make and bacon cue, wouldn't go astray. There's a high chance I could knock back 6 of these, which is probably enough calories to feed 7 people for 4 days or something, but by God. Hopefully that's given you some inspo to use your leftovers, because I know that just doesn't get old. I've probably done over 100 batches of these things and I absolutely love them. If you're willing, if not, help out a middle-aged bloke that loves to film videos and get into barbecue and barbecue rubs and stuff. Hit the subscription and the follow and all the bells and all that sort of good stuff. Righto, bang it in.